Hello, everyone. This is Zero back with the 10th episode of the 274A Marathon, the Polar Marathon, but also episode 6 of Billion Credit Challenge. So, we're just going to go over some of the things that I accomplished in the last 10 days. So, instead of a week for the credits, it's 10 days, obviously, to line up with the marathon. So, I have 3 missions that I completed with my tier 8 in my Progetto or my Barasque. So, I have MT5, 6, and 7 for the 260, which comes out to about 600,000 credits plus the large consumables, which is another 210. So that's mental math. So that's about 1.23 million credits in equivalent value. So I'll probably sell the fire extinguishers here in the next couple of days. So I had a really good week that way. Just added a few things like that. I did get the 274A completely for free. I ground it out. We'll dig into some of those details. So that was pretty exciting. And that's of course the whole point of this video. Was I able to do it? There's 1 hour left from right now until this is done, and I just got this, so I had an hour to spare, which is plenty, I think. So the way that broke out, actually, no, we're not there yet. So this is the victory message, which I was kind of excited about. I had a really solid game to finish out my last 1300 experience, I think it was. I don't think I played another game that counted. I might have had one I YOLO'd and didn't actually get top 10. So this one actually netted me the rest of the experience. I did want to take a screenshot on tier 10, not quite finished, so you could see I didn't buy it. I did not buy this tank. I ground it out. I haven't even played it yet, and honestly, I probably won't. I just wanted to see if I could do it. So it took me 436 battles, which is 43.6 battles a day. Easy math over 10 days. I got 420 bonds. I got 38.5 million credits, actually more than that because I counted with credits from the missions, the daily missions, as well as the actual marathon missions, so I have some extra credits there. I didn't spend that much on repairs and ammo and things, only about 6.5 million. I did get 1 million combat experience, which I think is pretty ridiculous for 10 days. That's 100,000 combat experience a day. If I was trying to grind out free XP, which I wasn't really. Free XP by itself between clan boosters and personal boosters, I made 107,000 free experience. That's without converting any. So that's like a tier 9 gun plus. So I'm really happy with that because I didn't need it. I wasn't planning on it. But now I have it for the Italian heavy without having to spend my gold. And I'll continue to pop those free experience boosters because I have lots of them. I'm actually really happy with the skill level I was able to maintain, kind of going down through the list. My World of Tanks rating stayed at 8,500, which is on the higher end for me over consistency, over 30, 40 games. It's not uncommon to hit 10, 11,000 over 7 or 8 games. I can maintain that occasionally. But 8,500 games over, I think, a really reasonable sample size, or 8,500 rating over the big sample size of 436. I'm really happy with that. I was also able to maintain 56% win rate. There's the win rate. I'm a little bit lower than what I was thinking, so maybe my World of Tank rating would have been higher too. But I had a couple of nights that it was like 4 o'clock in the morning that I was still playing, grinding out the rest of the games. And if you look, those are the days that I just struggled. I got half as much experience as normal and played 5 more games. So, just sitting here banging my head against the wall. So that definitely factored in. But 1,800 damage average at tier 8 is not great. I wish it was higher. But yeah, a lot of that was kind of YOLOing and playing poorly late at night. But I didn't want to fall behind because, as you know, I only had an hour to spare to get the tank. I did survive a little bit over 25%, which I'm pretty happy with. That's usually, I struggle with that number a little bit. My kills were good, 1.25. I'd like that to be higher. Vehicle spotted is about right on what I'd expect, 2.18. So that's about average for me. Or where I'm happy with. I did that in only 4 tanks. You'll notice they're actually all 4 marathon tanks. I do have other marathon tanks. I just decided not to play them. I'm not sure why, but obviously I really favored the Progetto. It's just such a fun tank. It's easy to do really well in. It's really easy to carry games, even tier 10 games. If you get in the right position, of course, you're still really squishy and really low hit points for a tier 10 game, but you can really get in there and grind out a lot of experience, dumping a clip into the side of a tier 10. Compared to a lot of other tanks. The same reason I kind of ended up in the Barasque. It's a little faster, but they both have the same clip size, right? So you dump a couple of clips into tier 10s through the course of a tier 10 game, and you're laughing, you're at that 20% multiplier. So that works up to 93,821 and 3 credits, 0.3 credits per game in my tier 8 premiums through the course of this event. Now, there was a lot of platooning just to keep my sanity, although it did slow down my grind, but I did it because you needed to keep yourself going. There was constantly, or almost constantly, a 50% personal booster, and there was mostly a clan 25% booster as well from the clan treasury being popped. So there was times in the morning where I jumped on for 5 games, didn't pop a personal or clan booster. I played a couple hours in the morning, a few days, didn't pop a clan booster. Right, I'm not gonna abuse my position in the clan to pop boosters at super weird hours. Mid afternoon maybe if there's people online. So I think with proper booster popping, if I'd only played with boosters, I probably could have hit 100,000 a game. But that doesn't really matter, to be honest. I'm still happy I made a lot of credits. So these are the 4 tanks that I played. You can see the Progetto. I made 25, just shy of 25 million credits. It's 58% win rate, so I'm really happy with that. The Barask, I marked it through this challenge, or one marked it through this challenge. So, I did play that 51% win rate. I thought it was higher, actually, till I looked at this tonight. I was shocked. I was like, oh, I only won 51% of my games over 137 battles, so I was actually really surprised by that. The FV, I won 1 game. I survived none. I did no damage. I have this tank 3 marked. I should be able to play this competently, but the 5 games, I think, were all the same night, or 4 of them at least were the same night. When it was like 3:30 in the morning, I was like, I need to mix this up, and I just went out and fed. So, I actually dropped down from my 95% that I had on this tank, or 97, I think it was, a little bit over 95. So I'm a little disappointed, but I only played 5 games, so it's not a great sample size. The EBR, I was able to maintain 62% win rate, but I only played 27 battles, so it's not as relevant. But you can see the different amounts of credits that I earned here in those tanks. So I'm still pretty happy with the tanks that I played, and maybe you'll judge me for playing the Progetto. I also aced the Barask through this challenge, which for me has been incredibly difficult. I had a lot of games at 1450 base experience that were not aces, and it was really frustrating. So I'm glad I finally aced that. So my 10-day credit total is 40,590,597, and that's without selling any of the things I got from the marathon. That's just the credits that I got. So it brings my total to 1,500 bonds. I did buy bond vert stabs for my Progetto because I'm that person. I got 72.5 million credits and 214,000 free experience, which none of that is converted. That's actually all naturally earned, but with boosters. So if you have any questions, comments, rude remarks, post them below. This is the summary of my 10-day grind to see if a gamer dad with limited time and moderate skill could do the marathon, which it's possible. I will probably, and I say probably strongly, never do this again. But also I did really enjoy it. It was a nice challenge just to see if I could. And it was a nice bump to my 1 billion credit challenge. I mean, that's about 4% it is 4% of what I needed to grind for that challenge. So it's put me a big chunk ahead on that. So again, questions, comments, read remarks below, and have a wonderful